Okay, so significant figures. Significant figures are the number of digits in a measured value. Okay, when we measure any value, the numeric value, what it comes, the number of digits in that numeric value are called as the significant figures. So, these significant figures are the digits which are reliable, that is which are certain, plus the last digit which is uncertain. Together it makes the significant figures. For example, if I say that the length of this boat is 195.2 centimeter. Okay, now here the first three digits 195, these are certain, these are reliable. So these digits are reliable, but the last digit is uncertain. Why? Because the answer may be 195.1 or it may be 195.3. So the last digit is uncertain. Now significant figures means the total number of digits which are reliable plus the last digit which is uncertain. Together it makes a significant figure. So significant figures means the number of digits in a measured value which are reliable plus the last digit which is uncertain. Together it makes the significant figure. So what are the significant figures in this measured value? 195.2 centimeter. These three digits are reliable. The last digit is uncertain. So the total number of digits are 4. So the number of significant figures in this value is 4. So this way we find out the number of significant figures. Okay, now there are some rules to find out the significant figures. Okay, now let's study the rules to find out the significant figures. Okay, here I'll explain and you will copy it from your book, NCERT book. It is given on page number 28. Okay, on page number 28 with the bold letters it is given. So here I am explaining and you will copy or you will note down from the book itself or you will learn from the book itself. The first one is all the non-zero digits are significant. The first rule states that all non-zero digits are significant. Non-zero means the digits from 1 to 9. All these are non-zero digits. So these digits are significant. So the first rule states that all non-zero digits are significant. For example, any value is 1, 2, 3, 1234. Okay, so it is not having any zero. All these are non-zero digits. So the number of significant figures in this value is 4. So all non-zero digits are significant. Now the second rule states that, okay, first I am reading from the book. All the zeros between two non-zero digits are significant, no matter whether there is a decimal point or not. So if the zero is coming between two non-zero digits, whether there is a decimal in that measured value or there is no decimal, then that zero has to be considered to be significant. So if zero is coming between any two non-zero digits, then 0 will be considered to be the significant figure. For example, 102. Now this 0 is lying between two non-zero digits. So this 0 will be considered to be significant. So the number of significant figures here are 3. There may be a decimal, there may not be a decimal in that measured value. For example, if it is 1.002, there is a decimal. But again, these two zeros are lying between two non-zero digits. So the number of significant figures here are 4. Okay, so the second rule states that if 0 is between two non-zero digits, then it has to be considered to be significant. Okay, then the third rule is if the number is less than 1 means it is starting from the decimal point. The 0 on the right of the decimal but to the left of the first non-zero digit are considered to be significant. Okay, so the third rule states that If a number is less than 1 means starting with the decimal point, then all the initial zeros are insignificant. All the initial zeros are not significant. For example, 0.0012. Okay, now as it is starting with the decimal point, to the left of the decimal and to the right of the decimal, we see that there are 3 zeros. These 3 zeros will be insignificant. We won't count them for the significant figures. So the number of significant figures in this measured value is 2. So if a number is starting with the decimal point, then all the initial zeros are insignificant. This is the third rule. Now the fourth rule states that the terminal or the trailing zeros in the number without a decimal point are not significant. Okay, if there is no decimal point in the quantity, in the value, for example 1200, no decimal, then the last zeros, the trailing zeros, these will be again insignificant. Okay, so if there is no decimal, then the last zeros are insignificant. So the number of significant figures again here are 2 only. Why? Because there is no decimal in the value, and then the last zeros will be considered to be insignificant. That is, we won't count them for the significant figure. Then the next rule states that the trailing zeros in a number with a decimal point are significant. Okay, if there is a decimal point, then the last zeros will be considered to be significant. If there is a decimal, then the trailing zeros, the digits, the zeros at the end, these will be considered to be significant. So the number of significant figures here are 4. Okay, so this way we find out the number of significant figures. Again, I repeat, it's given on page number 28. Okay, it's given in the bold letters with a dot. Okay, so you can note down from there and understand it here. The first rule states that if all the non-zero digits are significant. Non-zero means excluding 0, all digits 1 to 9, all these digits are significant. Okay, then the second rule states that according to the first rule, 0 is not significant. Okay, but according to the second rule, if the 0 is lying between 2 non-zero digits, then it has to be considered to be significant. Like 0 is lying, so this has to be considered to be significant. Okay, if a number is starting with the decimal point, then all the initial zeros will be considered to be insignificant. Okay, so it should start with the decimal point, then all these zeros are insignificant. So the number of significant figures in this value is only 2. If there is no decimal, then the last zeros, the trailing zeros are insignificant. So the number of significant figures are 2 only. Then the next rule states that if there is a decimal in the measured value, then the last zeros will be considered to be significant. So as there is a decimal, all the trailing zeros, the zeros at the end will be considered to be significant. So the number of significant figures here are 4. Okay, and also you take the value in any system, the number of significant figures will remain the same. For example, 1.2 meter. Okay, how many significant figures? There are 2 significant figures when we take it in meter. Now let us convert it in meter. In meter, we know that it will be 1.2, in centimeters, it will be 1.2 into 100. When we convert meter into centimeters, 1.2 into 100. So this becomes 120. As there is no decimal, so the last zero will be considered to be insignificant. So the number of significant figures again here are 2. You may convert it in millimeters, 1200 millimeters. Again, the number of significant figures are here are 2. So in whichever system you take, the number of significant figures will remain the same. Okay, next. Now we'll study the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in proper significant figures. So before that, we have to study rounding of any result. Okay, we have to round off the result. For rounding of the result, again, there are some rules. Okay, now first let's study the rules to round off any measured value, to round off in the proper significant figures. Okay, here, page number 29. In the bold letters it is given. You can read from there. Page number 29, to round off the result. Okay, rounding off any result. It is given now. Page 29 in the bold letters. Okay, now the first rule is, if the digit to be dropped, you can read from the book, here I am explaining. If the digit to be dropped is less than 5, then the preceding digit, preceding means the digit just before it, then the preceding digit will remain unchanged. Okay, let us take an example. The digit to be dropped is less than 5. Okay, for example, 1.23. This has to be expressed in two significant figures. Suppose this answer has to be expressed in two significant figures. Then we have to drop the last digit. Okay, in two significant figures means the last digit has to be dropped. Okay, so if the digit to be dropped is less than 5, as we can see that which digit we have to drop, the last digit, which is 3. It is less than 5, then the preceding digit, that is the digit just before it, will remain unchanged. So 1.23, if we have to express in two significant figures, it will be 1.2 only. Okay, why? Because this digit we are dropping, and as it is less than 5, so the preceding digit will remain unchanged. Whereas the second rule states that if the digit to be dropped is greater than 5, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. For example, 1.28. Again, we have to express this result in two significant figures. We have to express the answer in two significant figures. So we have to drop out the last digit, which is greater than 5. Then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. So in two significant figures, here we'll write it as 1.3. Why? Because the last digit we have to drop, and as it is greater than 5, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. The next rule states that if the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by any non-zero digit. Okay, the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by any non-zero digit. Okay, digit to be dropped is 5 followed by any non-zero digit. Okay, let it is 2, 3. So here which digits we have to again express the answer in two significant figures. So we have to drop these two last digits. Okay, so the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by any non-zero digit. Then this digit, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. Okay, so this will be raised by 1. This will be 1.56, or it is 1.581. Then this will be raised as 1.6. The next rule states that if the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by zeros, is 5 or 5 followed by zeros. Okay, then the preceding digit will remain unchanged if it is even, and the preceding digit will be raised by 1 if it is odd. Okay, again I explain. Here, the digit to be dropped is, it may be 5 only, like it may be 1.45, or 5 followed by zeros. Okay, so the digit to be dropped is maybe 5 or 5 followed by zeros. Then you have to see the preceding digit. If it is even, it will remain unchanged. If it is odd, it will be raised by 1. So these are the rules to round up the result. The first one is the digit to be dropped is less than 5. Preceding digit will remain unchanged. The digit to be dropped is greater than 5. then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. Okay, the digit to be dropped is 5 followed by any non-zero digit, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. Now if it is only 5 or 5 followed by 0, then you have to see the preceding digit. If it is even, it will remain as such. If it is odd, you will raise it by 1. So these are the rules which you have to remember to round off any value in proper significant figures. Okay, now let's study addition and subtraction in significant figures. Okay, first we'll study addition. For the subtraction also the rule is the same. Addition and subtraction in proper significant figures. Okay, we'll take an example and then we'll study. Let 1.23 is added to 32.147. Okay, so here add it in the same manner as you have studied in the primary class, how to add the values. When you add it, 7, 3, the answer is 33.377. Okay, now this answer has to be expressed in proper significant figures. Now in order to express in proper significant figures, see the number of digits after the decimal in individual values. Here, how many digits are there after the decimal? This value is having 2 digits after the decimal, this value. Whereas this value is having 3 digits after the decimal. Okay, don't see the digits before the decimal, only we are interested after the decimal. Okay, after the decimal there are 2 digits, here there are 3 digits. Now the result should retain only the number of significant figures which are minimum in any individual value. So here the minimum number of digits after the decimal, this value is having only 2. So the answer should have only 2 digits after the decimal. Okay, so after the decimal there should be only 2 digits, that is we have to drop this last 7. Now recollect all the rules. The digit to be dropped is greater than 5, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. So the answer in proper significant figures will be 33.38. So in addition as well as in subtraction, count the number of digits after the decimal. The one which is having minimum number of digits after the decimal, in the answer also those many digits should be retained after the decimal point. So here we see that after the decimal there are only 2 digits. So the answer should also have 2 digits after the decimal. So it means we have to drop out this digit. So now we'll recollect the rounding of rules. According to the rules, the digit to be dropped is greater than 5, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. The same is for the subtraction. Let's take an example. 31.456 minus 2.13 or 2.1 only. Okay, so you have to subtract these values, subtract in the same manner. 5, 4 minus 1 is 3. This is 9, 29. Okay, so here again see the number of digits after the decimal. This is having 3 digits after the decimal, whereas this one is having only 1 digit. So it means there should be only 1 digit after the decimal. Okay, that is you have to drop out these 2 digits. So it is 5 followed by any non-zero digit. So it will be raised by 1. So this answer will be 29.4. Okay, so for addition and subtraction, the rules are the same. That is, you have to see the number of digits after the decimal point, the one which is having the minimum number of digits after the decimal point. The answer should also retain those many digits after the decimal point. Whereas in multiplication and division, the rule is quite different. Let us see in multiplication and division. Let's take an example and understand it. Let we have to multiply 4.23 with 1.2. Okay, let these two values have to be multiplied. Multiply it in the same manner. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8. Okay, then 3, 2, 4, we add it. Okay, then the decimal will be 5.076. So this way we multiply. Okay, now in multiplication and division, we don't have to see the digits after the decimal. Count the number of significant figures in individual values. Here, how many number of significant figures are there? 3. In this value, how many number of significant figures are there? 2. So the answer should have only 2 significant figures. Okay, here we are not seeing the digits after the decimal as in the case of addition and subtraction. Here count the number of digits. This is having 3, this is having 2. So the answer, the result should retain the minimum number of significant figures as the individual value. So here it is only 2. So the answer should be expressed only in 2 significant figures. Okay, according to this, we see that there are 4 significant figures, but this answer is not in proper significant figures. So we have to express only in 2 significant figures. So it means we have to drop out the last 2 digits. Okay, so you can see greater than 50 or less than 50. So this one is greater than 50. The preceding digit will be raised by 1. So the answer in proper significant figures will be 5.1. Okay, or you can see these 2 digits which have to be dropped, like greater than 5 or greater than 50. Okay, or if there are 3 digits, you can see that greater than 500. If the digits to be dropped is greater than 5000, then the preceding digit will be raised by 1. So in 2 significant figures, the answer will be 5.1. The same is the rule for division also. Okay, so this we have completed significant figures. Okay, so what we have studied, what are significant figures? These are the number of digits which are reliable plus the last digit which is uncertain. Together it makes the significant figure, or you can simply say that these are the number of digits in any measured value. Okay, then rules of significant figures we have studied. Then rounding of a result. Okay, then how to add, subtract, multiply and divide in case of significant figures and express the answer in proper significant figures. Okay, next is errors. Okay, before starting it, one small definition. Here we'll study accuracy and precision. Generally in common language we take it to be same. Okay, but these are different terms, accuracy and precision. Accuracy means how close is the measured value to the true value. More it is close to the true value, the value is considered to be more accurate. Whereas precision means with which measuring instrument it is measured. Okay, if the least count of that instrument. Now what do you mean by least count? Least count is the least measurement made by any instrument. Like the regular scale what you use. How much minimum it can measure from that regular scale? How much minimum value can you measure? You can measure 1 millimeter. So what will be its least count? Its least count will be 1 millimeter. Okay, so the precision means with what instrument you have measured. Okay, and what is its least count? It depends upon that. Okay, more the number of digits after the decimal, more precise will be that value. For example, let the true length of this, you can take it to be 1 minute. Let me see if it is there in the book. Okay, let we consider that 4.679 centimeter is the true value of any length. Okay, any length we have considered, not of this board. It cannot be 4.679 centimeter. It's a very small length. Let the true value is 4.679 centimeter. Now it is measured with 2 instruments. The first instrument which is having a resolution means least count. of 0.1 centimeter, and let the measured value comes out to be, when measured by this, the measured value comes out to be 4.5 centimeters. And when it is measured by an instrument which is having a least count 0.01 centimeter, let the measured value comes out to be 4.38 centimeters. Okay, so this is the true value of any block, any length. This is the true value. These two are the measured values. The first one is measured with an instrument which is having a least count 0.1 centimeter. The second value is measured by an instrument which is having a least count 0.01 centimeter. Okay. So then the measured value comes out to be 4.38. Now, which one is more accurate? The one which is closer to the true value. Which one is more close to the true value? The first value. This is the first value. The first value is more close to the true value. So the first one is more accurate. So this one will be more accurate. Whereas 4.38, it is measured by an instrument which is having a least count 0.01 centimeter. So this value will be more precise. This value is more precise, though it is less accurate, but it is more precise. Why? Because it is measured by an instrument whose least count is very less. Whose least count is less than the first instrument. So less the least count of the instrument, more precise will be the value. So this is the difference between accuracy and precision. Accurate value means it should be more closer to the true value. Precision means we have to see the instrument by which it is measured. The one which is having the lower least count, that value will be more precise, though it may not be very accurate, like 4.38. This is more precise but not very accurate as compared to the first value. Okay, so accuracy means how close is to the true value, and precision means with what instrument it is measured. The lower the least count of that instrument, more precise will be that value, though it may not be very accurate, but it will be more precise. Okay, then next is errors. Some types of errors we'll study. Okay, so tomorrow you will keep your book along with you, because the types of errors we'll study from there only. And then how to calculate the errors. Okay, while calculating, again 3 types of errors. Okay, then this chapter will be finished. So 2 more turns will be taken and we'll finish this chapter. So keep studying.